I love that. And the idea of paying attention, staying tuned, right? We're
Mm-hmm.
like staying tuned to the different frequencies.
Yeah.
But I want you to explore the Baca Institute, right? We were
Mm.
just I was on the website, but just ahead of the interview, and so beautiful, so thought provoking. But I
Thank
don't
you.
know the whole history. So I wanted you to tell it. Yeah.
The Baca, actually, because people will often say, well, what does Baca mean? Does it stand for something? Um, the Baca is a place in southern Colorado. And it was a land grant. And there were two people from Canada that kind of became stewards of this land and invited people from every spiritual tradition they could think of. Well, that being said, that's not why we ended up there exactly. But the land itself is so powerful. I think it's got the largest underground lake in North America, with a bed of crystals, and I mean, it's really quite a place. It's high desert. Well, my teacher, the person who really changed my life back in 1987 when I met her, she was told to go there and buy property, which she did because she always listened to everything she was told. And were a group of us that started meeting there. A group of about 50 of us that met there about 4 times a year for about 20 years. And we were doing our own inner research. And what I mean by that is we were receiving new energy systems and seeing how that changed our lives, seeing what in our lives was different, how we moved through life in a different way. And we were quite a motley group. I mean, everything from teachers to artists to research scientists, educators, government workers. I mean, we were, business people. We were quite a mix. And so we were a good research group in that way because we were doing that in our own lives. And it was out of that work that came Turea meditation that I've mentioned, and Turea touch, which is a hands-on way of working with energy. And that both of those forms came into being through this work. And so when I was guided to, it's like, okay, I need to take this out into the next iteration of whatever this is going to be, because I was initiated as the Turea Grand Master back in the late 90s. And then we took it all over. And then there was a period where we had to shut that down. We had to go more underground with it. And that was right after 9/11. And borders were shut. And I'm not going to go into that whole story.
I'm so curious.
Really
Can you say a little bit about
it
going
was just, it
underground
was
with
what
that?
was needing to happen. That's
Okay.
So
Okay.
we got quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Not stopping, but just not, we had been quite out there, in the media, and I was teaching all around the country.
So it's been 20 years.
It's been well over 20 years.
Yeah.
And so when I was, said, okay, I need to take this back out into the world. It's ready to, come back out. And that was about 2010.
Okay.
And Dawn had passed. So it had been a couple of years since she had passed. And, it was just, I think, my not getting over that, but feeling ready to do what was next. And so I felt guided to name it after something that acknowledged those 20 years of research, that group that, did that inner research and were so dedicated and came together. Not just there at the Baca and other places too, but that was such a big center for things for us.
Holy guacamole. Okay. So we're talking about bringing this sacred land, with the underground lake and the crystals and all of these people that have come together from all these different traditions and
parts of the world.
And spiritual beliefs. Like, what are you excited about next? Like, I'm about to explode from excitement, and I don't even know the details. So please share.